So good evening, guys, and thanks for joining Office Hours 10. So it's been quite a while since we've actually started Office Hours, where we show you the new features that we have been working on. And this has been super helpful for also getting the feedback from you guys onto what new features we can develop as well. So this is a significant milestone for us, where we've reached our 10th Office Hours, and that's why we have something new today as well, which you will see towards the end. But to just give you a quick brief of how today's office hours is going to look like, we'll have demos of the new features, which is predominantly about how it changes how the platform teams or platform engineers operate. And towards the end, we'll have like a quick overview of what we are doing in AI itself. Yeah. So to quickly start and just introduce our speakers, we have Anuj and Srinidhi from the engineering team, and we have Keerti and myself from the product team itself. Yep. And as always, if you have any questions, keep dropping them in the chat. We will either answer them while we explain, or we can take the questions towards the end, right? So the first major feature is inner sourcing. Quite a few of you might have already seen this feature in action, and some of you have already started using it. But just to go through what inner sourcing is and why we built this is, um, you could have earlier seen that a lot of the resources or Terraform resources that were on Facets were maintained by the Facets team itself, but there were a lot more uh, resources or modules that were being written by you that were currently not being able to use by others in your like platform or DevOps team itself. So we built a feature where we wanted to enable platform engineers to write Terraform automations and make it reusable across your entire organization as well. So with this, you can also prevent that multiple people are writing the same modules, and you can also start enforcing a certain standard of modules across your entire organization itself. So there are a bunch of features that we have introduced here, from making it available in the UI to also having CLI capabilities to develop these modules itself. So we will be going through them in detail. So over to you, Anuj, for the live demo of inner sourcing.
All right. So I'll first go brief you through the FTF CLI that we have built. So this is a CLI, that a small light CLI that will run in your local, and it will be used by the module developer. So there are a bunch of commands that run locally that help you build features in your module itself, and then there are a bunch of commands that communicate with your uh, control plane, so you can register those modules with facets. So yeah, the module is public. The installation level should be pretty straightforward from the readme itself. I'll briefly go through the code, I think, or rather the features. Right. So the generate module, what it does is that it generates a bootstrapped list of files that are needed. So that .tf files and the facet.yaml file, which is necessary to be for facets to know about the metadata of the module. So I had just run it for a simple module that I created. It doesn't have any logic in the TF files, but I have a facet.yaml file. It has the intent layer version, what cloud it supports, and yeah, a simple sample and the spec of the module. So it doesn't have much of logic. It got generated using our generate module command, and then you have a bunch of commands that run locally that add code into this repo. So you have add variable, it would create a variable in your variables.tf and so on. So I gave it a bunch of inputs, it generated this one. So all these run locally, they don't need a connection with your control plane. Similarly, validate directory. Yeah, and there are a couple of others, add input, expose provider. All these just generate code in your local, and you can validate using the validate command. Now we have how to communicate it with the control plane. So how you register it, and after that publish it once it's finalized. So you do an FTF login, that is a standard login, and it you take your control plane URL, username, token. This is standard for communicating with any control plane. Anytime you make an integration with the control plane, these are the standard requirements. And once you have done this, it generates a profile for you. So these credentials are stored locally, and you can use them across your what do you call it, development work. So I just registered this module in my demo control plane. So if I show you this, right, we have this. So this is a preview module command. What it means is that this module has been registered as preview in my control plane. So if I go to my control plane where I registered it, I'll be able to see the module here. So let's refresh the page once. Yeah. This module is already there. I just sent a new version of it. Now, as it has been published from my local, I have this local here, and it cannot be marked as published yet. But this is just for testing. Yeah. So this entire UI that we have built, this is a new one, and you have a list of your custom modules that you've pushed yourself, and we have a bunch of system modules that Facets provides out of the box. So for common resources like Redis, Mongo, lot of resources we have. Yeah. And you develop your custom modules registered here. It is available as preview once you have tested it out in a project. So I have a project here. I can add this resource here. Uh, I add this here. A resource get created. I can release it, and yeah, that is a standard process that you follow. Once it is tested, you can mark it as published. It will appear as published here. Yes, same thing. Uh, yeah, so this is the overall flow. Our FTF also supports CEI integration. So what you typically will do eventually, once you have done a bit of testing and all, is that you have a Git file or the Git repo where you have your module stored. And whenever you make some changes, you push to it, you automatically want the CI pipeline to be triggered. And you don't want to run most of these commands, the login one and the others uh, from your local. Instead, you want them to be run from the CI pipeline that you have. So this supports that as well. And yeah, I think that should be it. So the README is pretty comprehensive. I think I'll suggest you to go through it. And yeah, our public docs also have its link, as well as a lot of use cases that typically you'd want. Yeah, I think that's it for the FTF CLI, as well as the new UI that we have that shows the modules. Over to you, Adi.
Yeah, thanks, Anuj, for sort of going over the entire flow of how you can develop and maintain your modules with these. So just to go over the features that we showed in inner sourcing, you now have um, a list of all the facets and custom modules that are available. So earlier you could see this in the blueprint while you added resources, but now you have a comprehensive list of all the resources that are available and the resources which you want to write on your own. For example, if there are resources that Facets already has, but you want a version of yours, you can modify it and make a custom module and make it reusable across the team itself. We'd love for you to explore these features and give us your valuable feedback. There are a lot of our enterprise customers that are already using this, and I think some of you have already started using it. But we'd again like to hear more feedback from you on this as well. And if you have not tried it out, we would really urge you to start trying this out, as it really would improve the productivity of your platform teams itself. Um, Next, we have the dynamic launch wizard. So to give you a brief of the feature, earlier, as you all know, to launch an environment, we had an assisted way to do this using our launch wizard, where there were a bunch of implicit decisions that we had asked like the user to use, like the AZ zones, the network settings, etc. So there was a fixed process earlier that any user had to do before launching an environment, but based on some use cases that we got from our users where they wanted this to be a little more customizable, and again truly self-serve for the user. So based on this, we have enabled a customization that you can do to your launch wizard that enables it to be dynamic. um, we'll have a demo of this. So over to you, Srinidhi.
Yeah, thank you, Adi. So as Adi mentioned, the in old Launch Wizard we didn't had the support to customize any new fields. Like let's say if I wanted to add IAM policies for any node to attach to a role of any node, that was not possible in the old Launch Wizard. But with the new Launch Wizard, the user have full control over what fields or specifications the user needs to configure. So I will quickly walk through the demo. Yeah, so before walking through the demo, I'll just walk you through the XUI fields that user can add it to their Facets YAML and use this launch wizard feature. So there are a couple of fields like XUI visible if. So this field user can use if they want. This is based on condition. So let's say if you want some fields to be shown only if some other field is enabled or disabled, this you can use this XUI visible if. Similarly, XUI dynamic enum. So let's say, for example, in service you have defined ports. Only those ports will be whatever you have added in the ports, only those will be visible in the readiness port. So for such use cases you can use XUI dynamic enum. XUI output type. So this is basically what you can use this to list all the resources whose output is of type whatever you have mentioned in the XUI output type. Then there is XUI secret ref. So by using this field, you can reference any secrets that you have defined in secrets and variables. Also, you can create new secrets. Similarly, XUI variable ref, you can reference any variables or create new variables. Then there is XUI overrides only. So this is mostly used in launch wizard. So we use these fields only when we need the configurations to be set at the environment level and not at the blueprint level. So any field which has XUI overrides only, those will be shown only in the environment level and not in the blueprint level. Next is XUI override disabled. So if you add this field, this flag, then the field will be visible only at the blueprint level and not at the environment level. Then there is XUI order, which defines what order the field should be shown in the form. Then there is XUI placeholder. This is basically the placeholder for the text box. And then there is XUI toggle. So if there are any attributes within a field, those will be grouped together if you use this XUI toggle. Next is XUI YAML editor. Those are this just enables the YAML editor for any field. Like for in Ingress, in case of Ingress, you can use this for annotations and stuff. Then there is XUI error message. This basically gives the error. Just show you the facets YAML how you I have used XUI overrides only. So for fields like cloud log retention, I have used this XUI overrides only set to true. So this field will be shown at the environment level and not at the blueprint level. I've added this for a couple of other fields only also. Um, yeah. I'll start with the demo for launch wizard. So I have added first thing, you need to add few resources in the blueprint. So I have added Kubernetes cluster and network and S3. So Kubernetes cluster and network has XUI overrides only set to true in its facets YAML. And for S3, there is no XUI overrides only set. Launch, I'll go through the launch. I have created an environment officer. So I'll just go to launch. Here I will set the cloud provider. I'll set the account name and I'll set the region. After this, you need to configure the module. So since the cloud is AWS, the flavor would be AWS VPC for network. Once you have selected the flavor, it will ask for which VPC type. You need to choose one among these and give the VPC CIDR and all the other details. Yeah. Next is Kubernetes cluster. Yeah. So since there is XUI visible if set for this flag, so if this is enabled only, then fields related to this will be shown. If it is disabled, then it is not shown. And similarly, this is XYAML editor field has been added for Kubernetes cluster tags. I'll do next. Yeah, you can configure these. Yeah, or whatever secrets and variables you have configured, those will be shown here. This is similar to the old flow itself. Next, here itself, you have the control to enable or disable the resources. Let's say if there are you want to enable S3, you can do it from here itself. And finally, you can click on launch environment.
Yeah. So thanks, Srinidhi, for giving us a demo here. So just wanted to quickly reiterate the use cases of the dynamic launch wizard. Is that uh, I usually you are not able to actually choose what you can make visible in the launch wizard for your team. But if you have any advanced use cases where you want some of the values to be configured at the time of launch, then you can use this feature to make these only configurable during launch itself. So like Srinidhi has mentioned, we will share the XUI documentation for you to help you configure the YAML and make this a little more extensible in the UI. So we'll share that as well. And besides this, you can also explore some additional use cases once you start trying this feature out. So we'd again love to hear your feedback on this feature once you try it out so that we can build additional functionalities for the same itself. Um, that's pretty much it for the officers. Let me actually share my screen once again. Yes. So as we can see, the whole world is moving towards AI, and we just wanted to give a quick update of what are some directions we're working on. So we're working on how you can actually write and develop modules using AI as an assistant, and also as you know the new MCPs that have been launched by the Anthropic team. So we've been exploring that direction as well as how you can use MCP in Facets as well. So we'd love to hear your ideas around use cases which you think would be feasible and make your daily life as a platform engineer easier. And based on this, we would be developing the features as well. So we would love your contribution and your ideas from the same. So you can DM any of us from the engineering or product teams, and we'd love to hear your feedback on the same. But yes, that's pretty much it. Thank you all for joining Office Hours, and see you next time.